The doctor is in.
Hi guys, it's Dr. Sal from DrSecrets.com. Thank you so much for joining in. Today we're going to take a look at how much do doctors make? In this episode, I'm going to crack open our piggy banks and show you exactly what's inside. But before we do, I'd like to start with a cautionary tale before I do the big reveal. And this tale is meant for those of you who are students and considering a career in medicine solely based on your future income potential earnings. If you're considering becoming a doctor just because of how much you're going to make, my advice to you would be don't. Now here's why. Take a look at these two gentlemen that I've put aside here. This guy here is Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, a multi-billionaire, very good at what he does, and what he loves doing most is making money. This other guy next to him, this little shy-looking, self-effacing man, is Dr. Jonas Salk. He's the guy that invented the polio vaccine. Now, if you're my age or younger, you probably don't have a clue what polio is because it's basically been eradicated thanks to the efforts of this gentleman. But before he came along, polio was a scourge across the earth. Caused a lot of disability for many people. Now, do you think that they would have been happy if their lives had been interchanged? Do you think Warren would have been happy spending every night looking at lab results instead of ticker tapes? And do you think that Dr. Salk would have been happy working at Deutsche Bank, creating instruments of financial destruction instead of creating the polio vaccine? I think not. Now, this is another picture of Dr. Salk. Now, that is a smile that money can't buy. And the reason he's so happy is because he enriched the lives of so many people. In fact, he was once asked why he hadn't tried to patent the polio vaccine, because he could have been a multimillionaire, maybe even a billionaire. And he described it simply as, would you try to patent the sun? Something that's so important to everyone he thought should be freely available. So to me, he was rich. All right, so that out of the way, let's go on now to the reveal of the numbers. And here we are. Boom. Oh, yeah! So what I've done here is list, these are 2013 figures for the United States and for Canada. I've also worked in the United Kingdom, but I haven't featured those numbers here because most of my viewership is from North America. So let's just break down these columns really simple, really quick. Family practice, these are guys like me that see anything from cuts, colds, children, seniors, basically jacks of all trades, masters of none. After that, this is pediatrics. These are the guys who specialize in all things children. Internal medicine is fairly self-explanatory. That's basically looking at disorders of the internal organs. They're kind of like super jacks of all trades. They actually know a lot about a lot. And then psychiatry, these are the head doctors. Orthopedics are the bone doctors. ER medicine is the guys you see in the emergency room. Geriatrics, these are the guys who specialize in sweet old seniors. Pulmonology, these are the guys that specialize in lung disorders like asthma, COPD, etc., emphysema. Obstetrics and gynecology, these are specialists in all things female. Neurology or neurologists, these are the guys that specialize in nerve disorders. Hematologists specialize in blood disorders. Oncologists in cancer. General surgeons, that's fairly self-explanatory. Urologists are what you might also call on the street dick doctors. They basically handle all things to do with male anatomy, well, male genital anatomy. Cardiologists, these are your heart doctors. Dermatologists are your skin guys. Gastroenterologists are the guys that specialize in your stomach to your colon. And the ENT, these are the ear, nose, and throat specialists. So I'll give you a quick second here to digest all these figures. And as you're looking at them, hopefully a big discrepancy or disparity becomes obvious to you. There's a very wide range in pay scales. So let's take a look at why that is. So here we have Dr. A. He's a family doctor like myself, and he's making a cool $185,000 a year. He thinks he has the world by the tail. He's happy. Until he looks across at the hospital across the street and finds that his brother, who's a cardiologist, is making $461,000 a year. And then he goes, what the fallopian tube? So what's the reason for this big discrepancy in pay? I mean, they're both doctors, they both went to the same medical schools. Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. Procedures pay much more than prescriptions. And that might not be immediately apparent why at first, but I'll give you a simple scenario which should help you to rationalize or digest why there's that big discrepancy. So say you came in to see me, we just ran your cholesterol test, and I discover that instead of blood, you've got oil pumping through your arteries. So I immediately panic. I put you on a cholesterol lowering pill like say Lipitor. That might cost you anywhere from $30 to $60 as a recurrent fee every year, because every year I have to renew the prescription, check your cholesterol over, check your diet, etc. But 20 years from now, that might prevent you from having a heart attack. So prevention is actually very important, but it's hard to put a dollar value on it because someone has not actually had, it's like solving a crime before it actually occurred. Once a crime actually happens, we respond better and pay better for responding to actual crises that have occurred, not crises that could have occurred. Now, say you hadn't met me and I never put you on the statin, the Lipitor, to prevent you from having a later heart attack, and you're actually in the midst of a heart attack right now. You've been eating a bunch of hamburgers dripping with cheese and oil for the last decade, and your arteries basically are full of butter. So you come in the middle of a heart attack, so you see this other guy here, the cardiology surgeon. Obviously, in a crisis like that, you would expect that the pay is going to be commensurately a lot higher. So I'm seeing you before a crisis has happened, so I'm doing prevention. This guy is putting out fires, so he's going to get paid a lot more for doing that. Now, the other thing that is interesting to look at is how do doctors compare to the rest of society in terms of earnings? So again, using our cardiology buddy here, he's making a cool $461,000 per year. Now let's compare that to the President of the United States of America, who is earning $400,000 a year, while the cardiologist down the street at the hospital is making more than the leader of the free world. Or at least that's how it will look when you look at it in the media and they just quote you the raw figures. But also consider this. As president, you also get $50,000 expense account, $100,000 for travel tab, that must be a hell of a lot of travel, $19,000 for entertainment, because I mean you can't just walk in as president to your local cinemaplex. And then there's some other perks that also come with being president too that aren't coded. For example, you have your own airline, Air Force One, traveling style, and you also get a pretty sweet crib, rent-free, all utilities paid, called the White House. So I hope you can see from this that there can be raw numbers don't tell you the full details of earnings. So in a future video called Are Doctors Rich?, I'm going to point out some mistakes or misconceptions built into the figures that you would see in the media about what we actually make. So in the meantime, I'll leave you to digest these figures. Let me get back to it here for you. Where was it? Those are the numbers there again. So I'll leave you to digest those figures. Stay well, stay hungry but not greedy, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Get notified of new videos. Subscribe now.